WMEL.
It's the Talk to Me Network on AM 1510, FM 99.9, 94.7, and 100.7. The views expressed on the following program are those of the hosts, callers, and guests, and are not necessarily those of WMEL staff, management, or advertisers.
This is Joe Steckler, folks, your host for Helping Seniors. Helping Seniors radio show is the radio arm of Helping Seniors of Brevard Inc. And we are an organization that is designed to inform, to educate, and to help connect seniors and those that care for seniors to resources, wonderful resources that are available in Brevard County, funded through a number of agencies. And we're going to talk about one method today with Marty Hindsley, who is here from United Way. But our phone number, if you want to call Kay at the office, is 321-473-7770. And I hope we can stir up enough interest today on the show that some of you will start thinking about ways that you can help yourself and help others. I have to admit to you something today about the show. Marty brought something to my attention that I've been working for seniors for 29 years, and it's the first day I've heard of it. First day today, and he's going to talk about it. It's a wonderful program, and he's tried to get people who will help here with the Brevard County, and it just simply hasn't happened. But I gave him my word that since I know about it now, something will happen with it, because I'm taking the papers away from him that he brought to the radio station today so that I can find out more about it. But he had already agreed to give them to me, so I don't have to take them away from him. But some of our sponsors for the show include the Eye Institute, Dr. Lee Sheldon, Bill Johnson, elder law attorney at this radio station, Zon Beachside, Ebony News Today, Riverview Senior Resort, Organized Creative Solutions, Brevard Chiropractic and Neurogen Center of Rockledge, Cobblestone Real Estate, Marker Street Memory Care. And what you can see, folks, these people that are helping pay for to do this program are the people that get involved in disseminating news to seniors, in providing care to seniors, and in making sure they have access to seniors. In other words, the radio, the television, and the media networks. And that's so important. But today my panelists include Marty Hindsley, who is a volunteer with United Way. He's also on the Brevard Commission. Well, what is that thing? He's on the National Council of Aging. That's one thing, and he's going to talk about that program today. But he's also on the Brevard Housing Authority, right?
Yes, that's right.
Those are all important things. And the other person is Jennifer Helin. Jennifer is one of the owners of Seniors Helping Seniors, a program designed to provide in-home care to seniors. You know, we need to understand more about what Marty and Jennifer are going to talk about today, because there are more ways that seniors can get help, and there are ways that seniors can get the type of help that can keep them at home at a lower element of care cost if they simply know how to make the system work for them. Am I right, Marty?
Yeah, I agree. If you do want
Go
to
ahead.
Okay, let me speak to you all, and thank you for having me, Joe.
You're welcome.
My subject today is referring for what we call a benefits checkup system, which is part of the National Commission on Aging. And let me start by identifying the problem that I see with seniors in Brevard County. Based on my analysis, I believe there's probably between 60,000 and 100,000 seniors in this county that are making a choice every week of whether or not they eat food, pay their utility bill, or pay for prescriptions. And from my analysis with this program that I'm going to talk about today, those problems can be solved. For example, there are approximately 5 million people who have found over 17.2 million worth of benefits in the United States of America using this program. There are 44 benefit centers in this country that have implemented the benefits checkup system. So I would like to, and hopefully that we in Brevard County will look at this program and take it seriously. And it's very simple. The Benefits Checkup Program is a series of questions that are asked as you sit alongside of a PC. Someone can either help you or you can do it yourself. And you fill out the questionnaire, and at the end, you get results given back to you. And it gives you solutions that will answer your needs concerning food, concerning medical, concerning Medicare, Medicaid, or so forth. It's a great program. It's easy to be implemented, and it will hopefully solve these 50,000 to 70,000 seniors that are out there trying to make a decision on what they do each week. I had an experience just about a month ago with my doctor. I talked to her a little bit about what I was doing, and I talked about this program. And she said, Marty, I have several seniors who come into my office that are in that situation, that ask me to help them with their prescriptions and to really help them to eliminate some of their prescriptions because they don't have the money. And I want to define something for y'all. These are people that have worked all their lives, that have saved, and have just simply outlived their money. And this is a perfect storm that's going to continue to happen as we go through the baby boomer age and the next group coming up. I look at three groups of seniors today. There's young seniors that are texters, Twitters, and Facebook types. Then there's a little older group of seniors that are strictly do email between themselves and their family. They also can use search engines to look up various subjects. And then there's the third group, which are the snail mailers. They don't want anything to do with technology. So I believe that within all of those groups, there are people out there that have outlived their money, and there's going to be more as we see major corporations, pension programs disappear, and 401k increases. So I think this benefits checkup program that's part of NCOA, and you can, by the way, Google NCA by just going to ncoa.org, and you can get all this information. You can even walk your way through to the benefits checkup and fill out the information, and it will come up with the solutions for you today before we ever implement this program throughout our county. I'm hoping that Joe will team with me, anyone else will team with me to implement this program so that we can get the answers to an awful lot of seniors that are hurting. And by the way, there are a lot of seniors that don't realize that a debit card referring to food stamps can help them. It may be an addition of $300 a month once we look at their 32 question evaluation, and that may be all they need to carry on in a fruitful life for the balance of the years they're on this earth. So I believe that we have hit a gold mine with this program. It's been out there for many, many years. We just need to implement it into our county, and I hope that Joe will be with me on finding a solution. Thank you, Joe.
You got to support it, but let me ask you a question. How many of these centers are in Florida? Do you know, Marty?
Yes, I do. I believe there are 2 centers in Florida, and that's very minimal compared to the number of seniors in our state.
How long have you been involved with this program?
About 6 months.
Okay. 5 years ago, this program really was going to start off. I started remembering what it was. I found out about it, and at that point, local agencies could not do it. It had to be a state entity that did it. I contacted the governor's office. I contacted the Department of Elder Affairs, and they told me I was out of my mind to think that Florida was even going to get involved in this. That was what I was told, Marty. I still persisted. I went some other places. I was told again, no, it's got to be something. I even went back to the origins of the program and said, no, you got to be bigger than a local organization. You can't have a little organization like yours doing this. But I said, even if we can do it? Even if we can do it? The answer was still no. Now, I see what they've done. I'm sort of in more in sync now with what you're talking about. And we can make it work. It's something that can be done. Jennifer, you were sitting there nodding your head at everything that Marty was saying. Talk to our listeners about what you, as a person that's got a company that goes in and sees what Marty is talking about. How do you feel about people being lined up to promote programs like this?
Oh my gosh, this program is so important. I'm the one in our office that goes out and does the majority of the assessments. So I'm sitting across the kitchen table from seniors on a daily basis, and they don't know what's out there. They're in a panic, and they don't know that there are programs and things out there to help them with transportation, with meals. There's so many things that oh my gosh, why didn't somebody tell me about this before? And it's partially because, we don't really want to know until we have to. And it's partially because people just don't know. And so a program like this would be fantastic.
Let me interrupt you. If you'd have known, or if you thought that I would have known about a program like Marty was talking about, do you think that we would have let 4 years go by without talking and trying to do something about something like this?
Oh my gosh, no.
It's education. And if we don't get the information out, Marty, I agree. Just look, a good example. Marty's on the board of directors. He's a volunteer at United Way. Are you still in your fundraising campaign for United Way?
We're finishing right now.
You're finished?
We're finishing. We're in the process of our last 2 months of the campaign.
Okay, but people can always make a donation to United Way.
Yes, they can throughout the year.
Now, here's the thing, folks. If you don't, and I'm going to ask Marty to talk today a little bit about some of the organizations that United Way funds. For the last 3 years, the United Way income has slightly declined. And the reason it's declined, my opinion now, is that people simply don't know about the many good things that United Way does and the many good things that maybe sometimes United Way, like all organizations, has to assess their directions, their goal, their objectives, and these things change. Right now, there's a move to develop a children's district to develop a taxing district for children. Why don't we have a taxing district for seniors? Why not?
I agree.
We got half of our citizens in Brevard County are senior citizens. Yet there is no taxing district for seniors in Brevard County. Yet we have a whole group of senior citizens, senior centers throughout the county that worry from week to week, month to month, year to year, where their funding's going to come from. Where are these places that seniors gather and congregate for their Meals on Wheels, for their congregate meal center sites, and for all the things that Aging Matters does, for all the things that different organizations try to do to help seniors? How do we ensure that these things are going to stay in place? These are some of the things that are real challenges, people. They're real challenges. And until we get a firm foot on how we're going to handle these things in the future, how are we going to contribute to United Way? How are we going to convince people that sometimes you got to give up the hamburger that you might go to Beef O'Brady's for and put it in the United Way donation pot instead? People never, Marty and Jennifer, so few people realize the benefits of the power of collective giving. We've just started a program at our organization helping seniors, and it's called a $100 a year club. We are trying to convince 1,000 people out of the 545,000 people in Brevard County to pledge $100 a year to help underwrite the cost of us being able to do the programs like we're doing today, to promote United Way, to promote Aging Matters, to promote all these agencies that get government money, state money, and local money to provide services for people. We just had a phone call. I'm talking too much. Jennifer, you and Marty got to break into sometime. We just got a phone call last week from a lady that was forced to eating bologna sandwiches because that's all the food she had in the house. Right. She did not know about Meals on Wheels. Why? United Way, Aging Matters gets over $4 million, and part of that money should at least be designated for information and education programs, because all the wonderful programs that Aging Matters has, if people don't know about them, if they don't know about the medical programs, if they don't know about the in-home care programs, if they don't know about Meals on Wheels and transportation. I had a phone call yesterday, a lady that for years has provided transportation services for people beachside. She can no longer do it. She's to the point she can't do it. So she called to ask me about organizations. I gave her TransServe. I gave her Space Coast Center for Independent Living. I gave her Aging Matters, and I gave her the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, because all of those people get United Way, local, county, and state money to provide transportation. And some of that transportation is supposed to be free, folks. So when you make a call to this place and you get told it's going to cost you $15, $20, $75 for a trip, call Helping Seniors and tell us that that's happening, because we can help you reverse that. Space Coast Center for Independent Living is supposed to take a veteran any place in Brevard County from his or her home to the doctor and back home for $5. That's in their charter, folks. But if you don't know about it, you can't hold their feet to the fire. Marty, it's your turn.
Yeah, let me just answer the solution that I had recommended, called benefits checkup. And here's how easy it could be implemented in Brevard County. The senior that's in need, that is making that choice every week about whether or not they eat, pay medicine, pay utility, or whatever, they would dial 211. And 211 would be a traffic cop that would send those folks to one or two different community organizations that help seniors. Number one would be Aging Matters. Number two would be Seniors Helping Seniors, which is Joe's organization. They could then get on the NCOA, National Commission on Aging website, and ask those folks to give them information so that they could do a benefits checkup on those people. That would take all of about 20 minutes to do that. Out of that would come a solution. It even has a recap of the solutions. It would help those people and would direct them to the right organizations that would give them the help that they need to meet the requirements so that they can live a normal life. It's that simple. There is no such thing as no answer out there. Joe is correct. People just do not know of the so many organizations and help that they can receive. And this benefits checkup process would be a giant step in that direction. And then let me also talk a little bit quickly about a few of the agencies that United Way sponsors. By the way, it sponsors about 42 agencies. Its objective is in the 6,300,000 range. That's what they're trying to reach in their campaign. And let me list a few of the agencies that they support. 211, Aging Matters of Brevard, American Red Cross, AMI Kids, Brevard Achievement Center, Brevard Alzheimer's Disease Foundation, Bridges, Catholic Charities, Central Florida YMCA, various sharing centers, Girl Scouts, Family Counseling Centers, Second Harvest, Serene Harbor, South Brevard Sharing Center, Children's Center, the Children Hunger Project, which is a huge project that fills up bags by young people, that keeps young people eating through the summer who come from low-income families. They also get a book to read as well. The Salvation Army and the Women's Center. These are some of the organizations that we support. So that's it, Joe, as far as United Way is concerned.
Wait, a question. Jennifer, you're involved in Triad.
Yes.
You're on the board of Triad, right?
Yes.
Does Triad get any funds from United Way?
No, we don't. No, we haven't. Thankfully, we haven't needed to. We've had private sponsors that have helped tremendously, largely through Project Lifesaver. People are becoming more and more familiar with Project Lifesaver, and because it's such an important thing in our community, they are willing to donate to keep Project Lifesaver going. So we've been really very thrilled with the last couple of years and the hard work of Joe Downs getting the word out there about the bracelets that Project Lifesaver provides that luckily we haven't had to ask for money.
Okay, but this just reinforces what I'm saying, because Marty, folks, pretend we're on TV. While Jennifer was talking, Marty's nodding and said yes, because what it shows is that United Way is helping certain organizations. There are other organizations that recognize that they have a need to help other organizations like Triad. So if we can develop our objectives and our goals where we can meet the ones that the community determines are the most needy, then we stand a better chance of funding all the programs that need to be funded. But Jennifer, we've got about 3 minutes before we take our half-hour break. But can you address just for a couple of minutes what Marty's talking about, how Triad is involved in doing what Marty is talking about?
Well, for Triad, our focus is on safety because the Triad is the state attorney's office, the local police, and the sheriff's office. And there are also other organizations like mine that support seniors. So we see the value in what Triad is doing and keeping our seniors safe. So
would that have to do anything with scams and stuff like that?
Oh, absolutely. Scams, fraud. We're trying to do some public service announcements right now. It's tax time. Tax season's coming up. It's here. That is prime time for a lot of scams, fraudulent calls, fraudulent tax returns. So we want to make sure everybody knows about that. And so we work in conjunction with 211, Aging Matters. We have a lot of projects that we work in conjunction with a lot of other agencies trying to get the word out, trying to make sure people are safe, besides some other nice side
It's
projects.
always this time of the year that I always remind people that if you get a phone call or you get an email from IRS, forget it. Do not
will not
answer
call
that
you.
phone. Do not answer that email because IRS only sends things out in the mail. And if you get a phone call like that, folks, or an email, you can call Aging Matters and tell them that. You can call Helping Seniors and tell us what you got. You can call, I don't know if you
can
could
call the
call
sheriff's
211,
office.
but you probably could. But what you need to do is report that. And I'm doing a TV show tomorrow with Bill Johnson, elder law attorney, about scams and some other things. And one of the last things we're going to talk about is how you report this stuff, and how there are some really easy phone numbers to, and it's so easy to do, folks. It's so easy. You just got Marty. You had something else you want to say before we?
No, I just wanted to say that Jennifer's organization of Seniors Helping Seniors really can identify folks who need that benefits checkup.
Absolutely.
Because her organization, and I know that organization is throughout the United States. I think there are other franchises or so forth, however they work. But they're a perfect input to benefits checkup and to help people.
We would love to do that.
I wanted to make that point, Joe.
That's a good point to make. Folks, we're just out of time to take our mid-show break, but I just want to remind you, please turn into the second side of this show because we haven't even touched what we're going to talk about yet today. And Marty and Jennifer are both laughing. It always happens. When we have a good show, we have good information, we have things that people need to know, it always takes time to work our way through our agenda. So stay with us, folks, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes, right? I get the programmers tell me yes, so stay with us, folks.
Lillian McDermott, weekdays at noon on AM 1510, FM 99.9, 94.7, and 100.7.
This is Joe Steckler, folks. We're live with the second half of today's Helping Seniors show. Our purpose of our organization, Helping Seniors, is to educate, inform, and connect seniors and all those that care for seniors to necessary resources. And we have many wonderful resources in Brevard County. We're talking about a couple of them today. We're talking a little bit about Triad. We're talking about the services made available through what you donate to United Way. And we're going to recap again about a benefits program. But I want to remind everybody that what we do is help to be paid for by organizations like Senior Scene Magazine. They reach 40,000 people in Brevard County. Hometown News, they reach 245,000 people in a two-county area, 149,000 of those in Brevard County, folks. Spotlight Magazine, Seniors Helping Seniors, The Fountains of Melbourne. I'm turning the page right. The lights got me, folks. Barbara McIntyre, Canadian Meds of Melbourne, Air Care, Vitas Hospice, In-Home Personal Care, Veterans Realty. There's just so many, folks. And you can find out if you need help, and you don't you just can't get a good answer. You need an honest plumber. You need an honest garage door repair person. Or if you need, I'm trying to think of something, it just happened to me. Oh, people that take care of yards. Folks, I've had a problem with my fertilization of my plants and my yard care for years. A guy in the area told my wife, she ought to call this one organization, one company. We did. Day before yesterday, I was working on some stuff for our program. I looked out in my front yard, and this guy had his truck there, and he was fertilizing the trees, the grass, the plants. He came back up with 4 different kinds of fertilizer, and he was at the house over an hour because I timed him. And his service is dirt cheap compared to what others charge, and this guy really did a bang-up job. And I haven't even talked to him about being a sponsor, but if anybody wants his name, you can call me through Kay at 473-7770, and I'll tell you, because I made a vow many years ago when I started doing my radio show, if I thought something was a good tip for somebody, I would tell you. This guy's service, I think, is good, it's honest, and I'm just waiting to see it get some good results from what I'm already seeing improvement in my grass. So, this is what we can do with an ability to spread good information out. And I think that Jennifer may know this. I know Marty doesn't know, but I will have a new column in the Space Coast Daily newspaper, the online newspaper, and I'm starting a new column talking about senior leadership. What is senior leadership? Why is it needed? Is it needed? What constitutes senior leadership? What do we get if we have a good senior leadership program? What happens if we don't have a good senior leadership program? These are things that 245,000 seniors in Brevard County should darn well be thinking about. For instance, folks, your senior centers. Nobody has a lock on a current senior center that you're going to if you're going to one. They could all disappear. They easily could. Most of them, they have a contract on them. They have a short termination period. Different cities do them different way. But my point is this. Unless we do a better job of locking our services in place and making sure that we can pay for them, they could go away in the future. And it's happened over the years I've lived in Brevard County. And I've seen a lot of people put out on the street for good care projects and for meal projects, and you can probably think of some of the ones I'm talking about, Marty. Marty's nodding his head. He likes to nod his head. He doesn't talk. You can't shake your head.
No, I agree, Joe.
Put it on the spot.
It's a wonderful thing. I can pick on my panelists, folks. But, Jennifer, we mentioned triad first. How about telling our people what triad is? Because I don't think a lot of people understand what triad is, what it's trying to do. It's come a long way since they first founded it here in Brevard County.
And it has been around a while, and it's really having a resurgence, and we're very happy about that because our goal is to keep seniors safe. And like I said, it is the state attorney's office, the sheriff's office, and the local police. And we meet, as a board, but we have our real thrust is our SALT councils, and SALT stands for Seniors and Law Enforcement Together, so that we are out in the community assessing what the community's needs are and then trying to meet those needs. So, one of our main projects is Project Lifesaver, and that is a bracelet that is now free. There used to be a charge for it, but because of generous donations and Joe Down's hard work, it is now a free bracelet, so there's no excuse for someone not to have one. And that goes for someone who has dementia, or maybe a child with autism or Down syndrome that could not speak for themselves. They put that bracelet on. If that person wanders away for any reason, we will be able to find them. They have transmitters. They put the helicopter up in the air and they will find them. They've never not found someone before. Unfortunately, we have had seniors in Brevard County who did not have a bracelet, and they have wandered and they have never been found. and that's a sad reality in the county.
I know it's reality. I remember because when I was the director at the Alzheimer's Foundation, when we first started, the Sheriff's Department came to me to help them write a manual for training the troopers and the Sheriff's Office deputies about memory care, what to look for, some of the danger signs, and then the National Alzheimer's Association. We really strong in those days promoted the bracelet program, and I know that it works because I had a phone call in my office one day. There was a doctor that had developed dementia, and he was down in Palm Beach County, and he was there with his wife, and he had a bracelet on, and he got away from his wife, and they found him within a half hour.
It's a great program. And even if somebody wants to travel, they can. Project Lifesaver is actually an international program. So if you've got a family event in Iowa that you want to go and attend a wedding for family, they give you a piece of paper so you get through the airport okay. And then once they get up there, there's typically that transponder number goes with them, and there's typically a Project Lifesaver in the area that can then pick that up and monitor them while they're away. So even if they were a snowbird, if they just want to travel, they can travel safely knowing that that person is still monitored, and that, if they happen to wander away from the hotel, that they're covered.
I wish I could keep track, Marty and Jennifer, how many people that are listening to us today either knew before or are learning for the first time about the benefits program and what Triad is, and the fact that we do have a Triad agency.
Right. And Triad also does a lot of education. We're big on educating people to be safe. That there are programs. The Sheriff's Office has a wonderful program where they will come out and they'll do a safety assessment to see, are there locks, deadbolts, safety lighting. They will go through the house. It's a free checkup to see, is your house certified safe?
And smoke detectors is one of those.
Yeah. So it's a great program. It's free, and to me, it would give you peace of mind that. And we've helped with some low-income housing where, maybe it's a widow where it wasn't safe. There were some things that needed to be done, and we were able, through Triad, to get those locks and get them installed for her so that she did have peace of mind for that safety.
Well, I know that if seniors are the victim of a scam in Brevard County, Laura Moody, Assistant State Attorney General, is, and I say this, that she could be like a pit bull after that person, because she does not like people that try to do that. She's certainly much prettier than a pit bull.
Yeah,
but
she's been a huge advocate for us. She sits on the board of Triad and continues to do so, even though she has gotten a promotion.
She's a true believer in going after people that do a scam, and it's so easy. I every time I've had somebody call me about a scam, I give them Laura's phone number, and she always follows up and calls back and lets us know what happened.
And Phil Archer has, and I would love for people to go on and subscribe to his newsletter. He does a monthly newsletter that lists all the latest and greatest scams. So right now it's tax time, so it's tax scams. But later on we might have something else. We have the grandmother scam, the grandparent, but a lot of times it's grandma. That goes on all the time. Yeah. They just had one in Titusville. They got $40,000 from a woman in Titusville. Yeah. So
we get the
constant.
Philip Archer scam information from Cindy Short at the Brevard Commission on Aging monthly, and it's amazing the number of scams that are out there.
It makes you shake
your
head.
And Philip Archer is doing a wonderful job in providing that information.
Archer?
Yes.
Yeah, yes. Marty, there's another thing I'd like for you to talk about today, because we don't really talk about it on the show very much, on a radio show anymore, and it has to do with adult day health care. And people know about the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation. They know there's also Sarah Care down in downtown Melbourne. There was a social club started down in Palm Bay, and a man had visions of one of the greatest daycares I think I've seen, and within 4 months of starting it, the man passed away. And it worked for years to save his money to start that program. But it also reminds me, so people might keep a thought in their mind. Somebody reminded me today that Alan Combs, a national radio guy, had passed away. There's a lot we don't know about some of these people that we view on radio and television, but I've heard from several people that knew the man that he was a very honest, open guy. He did happen to have some beliefs I didn't really like, but that made no difference. He was a good person. So sometimes we need to think about some of these people that spend their time, their lives, trying to keep the public informed and try to do things. So you might want to keep Marty Combs in your prayer tonight. But Marty, I'd like for you to talk for a minute about what United Way is trying to do this year and the areas of focus for United Way.
Yeah, let me first talk about, just briefly, about a board that I sit on. It's called Senior Care of Brevard, and it treats people with dementia. It's a small organization in the Cocoa Village area that does a wonderful job. I just want to make sure that you folks that live in the Merritt Island and Cocoa Village area are aware of that organization. It's been there for many years, and I'm recently a new board member, but it's called Senior Care of Brevard. Now, back to Joe's question.
But wait, let's go away. Let's stick with that a minute.
Okay.
Do you happen to know what their daily rate is?
I believe 65.
Does that include transportation or not?
Yes.
It does?
Yes, it does.
Okay. Folks, I'll tell you. There is no organization in Brevard County that will give you adult day health care, including transportation, for $65. And if there is somebody, you can call me and tell me, and I'll promote your operation free on this radio show and in my newspaper column, because a $65 a day service, including transportation, is a bargain. And it's here's the bargain side of it, folks. I don't like to say care. I like to say elements of care. How we can do what we can do to drive our costs down. If you just are willing to spend $65 taking your loved one and put him in that adult daycare that Marty just mentioned, 1 day a week, that's $260 a month, and that can give you the respite care you need. That could give the person with dementia some of the outside influence or atmosphere that he needs from being in the house all the time, he or she. There's just so many benefits. The respite side of it, for both the caregiver and the care receiver. It's a great thing, and people don't pay attention. And I wasn't aware this organization still existed, but we are going to promote that adult day health care up there in Rockledge, Cocoa, through senior helping seniors, because we will take and put on our referral service any organization that we think is helping seniors. Jennifer, I interrupted you. You were going to say something. You or Marty?
No, this would be great if you could do this for this. This is a small organization that has approximately 18 patients now, but is looking to grow. That can handle up over 40-some patients. So this would be wonderful if people could just be made aware of Senior Care of Brevard.
Okay, there's something else I need to add to that. Well, don't forget, you're going to talk about United Way. Where's it going to be?
Right.
That hour. Folks, there are programs the state has that those of you that have a loved one that you're keeping at home that has dementia, and you're keeping at home because you don't have the funds to put them in daycare, here's some advice. Call the Brevard Alzheimer's Foundation, because they get roughly $300,000 a year to provide facility care for people that can't afford it. That's the reason the state gives them that money. There's also, when they did away with the state privatization of the managed care program, they came out with a new program, and you can go through the Elder Helpline and find out about this, because this program also provides free daycare, respite, and memory care for those that qualify for it. And just because sometimes the waiting list is long, the waiting list is long for people that have a lesser need than for the ones that have a greater need. So you need to ask questions. And if you're in a situation like that, call Kay at 473-7770 and tell her what the problem is, and let her at least make a recommendation that you could try to help yourself and help the one you're caring for. Okay, Marty, how about you?
Thank you. I want to go back just briefly, real quick, on benefits checkup before I talk about United Way. And I want to list for you, which I did not do before thoroughly, I want to list for you the type of expenses that you can get help with once you go through benefits checkup. The expenses are medications, food, utilities, legal, health care, housing, in-home services, taxes, transportation, employment training, and another item you can get help with is veterans benefits as well. So I wanted to just update all of the listening audience on the benefits checkup expenses that are covered in those various programs. As far as United Way is concerned, the focus, and this is United Way throughout this country, the focus is education, income, and health. The education piece is centered around a program called LION, which is helping low-income children, third graders especially, learn how to read via computer reading because they don't have the benefit of having books. So there's an emphasis on that education part. There's also an emphasis on the income part where many people who have financial literacy are being helped by United Way programs. And the third piece is the health piece, and that's the healthcare access literacy program, which also includes child abuse prevention and feed and read program. So there's a lot of things going on with the health. But it's also very much involved with seniors as far as 5K runs, the fitness programs that United Way is really supporting throughout this county, such as the many 5K runs that will generate minutes of walking and good health going forward. Once again, as far as National Commission on Aging is concerned, there's other programs on that website. It's ncoa.org, and it deals with the preventive side of seniors, because we should have a benefits preventive checkup that we don't have, but all the information for helping seniors with prevention is on that website, such as falls prevention, which is the number one leader of folks having deep problems once they fall that can lead to serious illnesses and death. And there's also a lot of information on exercises and many other programs. I hope, Joe, that we can spend some time talking about that at a later date. So that is the current update as we speak now. Once again, on the United Way side, the emphasis on seniors that come out of United Way's funds are Aging Matters organization, the Brevard Alzheimer's Use organization, Grandparents Helping Grandchildren organization. I think those are the three main organizations that benefit from United Way.
Yeah, and it's fair to say those are needed. There just are. When we start talking about the numbers of seniors and children in Brevard County, Marty, I know that each board has a right to make up their own objectives and goals, but we have to truly understand the dynamics of Brevard County. There are more children. There are fewer children under the age of 18 in Brevard County than there are seniors over the age of 45. Brevard County is a primarily senior county, and that the problem there is sort of been highlighted by a recent article I read on the Elder Law Attorney Network, which says that the National Director for the Meals on Wheels program is projecting a reduction at the national level in funding for the Meals on Wheels program in 2017. Now, this projection of smaller funding amounts, it truly will impact the numbers of seniors served based just on the current numbers. But when you think in terms of the United States is probably the most rapidly changing countries in the world in terms of number of people over the age of 65. So you see that unless private local citizens start doing more to share their wealth and their good fortune with organizations like United Way and other nonprofit organizations, we're not going to have the funds to meet some really, really definite needs. And folks, if any of you think that our new president is going to be able to go out and change everything that's happened over the last 8, 10, 12 years with a reduction in force on the military, believe me, it's not going to happen. It just takes time to bring the military programs online. The whole training pipeline has been set aside for a number of years, and I've got a couple of documents at home that if somebody wants them, they can call Kay at the office, and I will. You give me your email number, I'll email you a couple of documents where you can read for yourself what has been done to destroy some of the things that the men and women who have been willing to give their lives and limbs of their body to help protect you. It's not right, folks. Jennifer?
Well, going back to, people being generous with their time, talent, and treasure, I think a lot of people in the county really don't realize what the need is for the senior population. If you're not in it, you just don't know. Triad runs a wonderful Senior Santa program, and they target people who are in skilled nursing facilities who would not get anything for Christmas. And they target those folks who are there. They may have outlived their family and friends, so no one's going to visit. No one's going to bring them any cheer whatsoever over the holidays. So those are the folks that we target. And I spoke about this program at the Melbourne Chamber of Commerce, and the outpouring was just amazing. It was fantastic because people really didn't know how many seniors we have just in those types of facilities in that type of situation in Brevard County. We delivered just in the South County alone, I believe we delivered around 1,200 presents. And that's, 1,200 seniors who wouldn't have gotten anything, have no family coming, and they were, the business folks that I talked to were appalled. And now they know, and so now we got some amazing gifts. Amazing. They just have to know.
That's right.
We have
Marty,
to let them know what's
give you a
out
couple
there.
of seconds for last comment.
Yeah, I just want to comment that I hope you all think about the benefits checkout program that we touched upon today, and I hope that it's of some value to you all, and it's very easy to access by just going to ncoa.org and running through the questions and getting a solution. So thank you so much for having me, Joe, and have a good day.
You're quite welcome. And folks, in signing out today, I want to thank Marty and Jennifer. Jennifer is a business lady. She gives of her time to come out here and help us get information to you. And I want to compliment Marty on the depth of his knowledge as a United Way volunteer and what he brings to the stage for informing and educating our people. You've done a fine job, Marty, and I appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome. And thank you, listener, for listening. Tell others about this program. If you want to hear what came on today, go to our Helping Seniors at Brevard.org. The show will be archived there tomorrow night. Thank you.